Hey guys and gals, Savvy Tech Girl here. Today I would like to share a video with you on the very basics of a Mac operating system. I have a lot of clients that use Macs who are just starting to use Macs. Maybe they've never used them before. It can be a little bit overwhelming. So I just wanted to sort of go through this with you. It may turn out to be a fairly long video, so please feel free while you're watching it to pause it as you go, and then you can sort of go step by step through it. And if you have any questions at all, you can always contact me on email, savvytechgirl@gmail.com, and you can always get me on Facebook, facebook.com/Savvy Tech Girl. Okay, so let's get started. A Mac is definitely different than a Windows machine. You can see here when you turn your computer on, this is going to be what we call the desktop. All right, so obviously in a Windows machine, you're probably very familiar. At the bottom left-hand corner, there would be what we call a start menu. And that's where you would go to maybe start your programs, look for things, and we do have desktop icons on here. So I have some quick links here just for some different things. And so that part of it, you're going to notice all of it, like right off the bat, that it is very different than Windows. So our main taskbar, which is what we call it, is actually at the bottom of our screen. Okay, sometimes you guys may have it set up that when you put your mouse over the application, you're gonna see it zoom out, so it's sort of bold and you can tell exactly what you're about to click on. So like I said, this at the bottom of the screen is our taskbar, where we can start things from, and where we can put quick links to our programs. So by default, you're going to see things like this icon here, which is called Finder. If you're running the newer version of a Mac, you're going to notice Siri is built in now. This is what we call our launch pad. You're going to have Safari, which is the browser that comes with Mac. And then I have a few other things installed. I've got a mail program. You're going to get a calendar and your contacts by default, reminders, iTunes, system preferences, App Store, things like that. So one thing you got to remember about an Apple account and Apple devices is that if you have a phone or a tablet, like an iPad or an iPhone, all these contacts and calendars can be shared throughout your devices. So when you create an account through your App Store, you're going to have an email address and a password. That account is essentially what is going to be created to share all this information. So contacts, calendars, bookmarks in Safari, Messenger. You can see I have Messenger running here. If you get a message to your phone, it can also come to your desktop. Vice versa, if you get it to your desktop, it can also come to your phone. Those are features that you can either turn on or off. All right, so let's say we want to look and see what programs, applications are installed on this system. So I'm going to go down here to what we call the launch pad. And the launch pad is, we can scroll through it so you can see what programs are installed. Okay. So again, by default, you're going to see things like Safari, Messenger, the App Store, iMovie, system preferences. But when an application gets installed, you will see the big icons here for you to click and to start up a program. All right, so that area is called the launch pad. Okay, so again, once you've installed a program, you are then able to go into Launchpad and find that program. Now, if there is, you can see on some of these, there's a blue dot beside them. That simply says that there has been an update recently, and since the update has been downloaded automatically, I have not used this app yet. So it just tells you there was updates, and they are recent and you haven't used that program since. I can simply use the scrolling button on my mouse. You can use the scrolling through your touchpad if you're on the laptop. And you can just scroll to each different screen. You can see at the bottom here, I've got 3 dots. That tells me that there are actually 3 screens with app icons on them. All right, so that's the basics of the Launchpad. I have an app here that clearly isn't working right now. I can drag and hold my mouse button down, my left mouse button down, and I can actually put that into the trash bin if I want to uninstall it. So it's that simple. All right, you don't have to go into programs, you don't have to go to uninstall. If you would like to get rid of an application for whatever reason, you hold the app down, you can either click the X or you can drag it into the trash. Okay, so are you sure you want to delete? Yes, I do want to delete. So now that application is gone. All right. Another thing that you can do is you can create sections. So you can keep all of your apps in orderly fashion instead of sort of how I have them right now all over the place. Right? And I can start creating these areas by simply clicking and holding an app and dragging it over. And you can see as I drag over, it's automatically created a subsection for me. So I already have one created. I want to go into Smart Technologies. I just drag it and drop. All right. And again, I'm going to left mouse button. I'm going to push, hold until they sort of wiggle, and I'm going to drop it. I'm going to do the same here, and I'm going to do the same here. So these are all part of the Smart Technologies setup. I'll do the same there. Okay, when I'm done, I simply find an area on the screen that is clear, doesn't have an icon. I just click my left mouse button, and then the icons go back to normal. All right, so I still have 3 screens here. I can now start organizing a little bit better. These icons maybe are a little bit, they're all over the place, as you can tell. So I see I have some screen capture stuff here. So I can, if I don't want my Google Chrome up, I can move that down here. Right, so that moves things around. Google Hangouts is keep Google things together. And again, I push and hold the left mouse button while I'm on top of an app, an icon, and just drag and drop it down. Now I want to bring some items over to this area here. So I'm going to click, hold, go over to the left side of my screen, and I'm going to just drop that down there. I can scroll back over. I'm going to click, hold, go to the left side of my screen. That's going to move over for me. It's automatically going to change to the next screen for me when you do that. So same idea as when you're on an iPad and when you're on an iPhone, all the same. They treat their icons in the same way. Okay, and what else do I have? I've got a couple of video players. Let's move those over. So again, same thing. Drag, drop, and move them. I'm going to scroll back over again. So you get used to using that scroll bar on your mouse. And then I'm going to take my VLC one. So these are all for video. I'm going to take my cam mask. Right, so you can see the more you do it, the easier it'll become. So it's kind of neat to just be able to play around here. And let's just take this cam recorder and we'll bring that over as well. All right, so I've sort of organized. It's still a little bit bulky, and at this point now I can start to create some subcategories. So let's say I've got a couple of screen capture programs going on over here, and let's create a category for that. So I'm going to click, hold, and I'm going to drag it on top of that other icon. And let's call this video editing and capture. So you simply type in whichever title you would like and hit enter, and then just click anywhere on the screen. So I'm also going to take this screen capture, put it in there, And I can take this, I can put it in there as well. And that should, well, I'll put my OBS in there as well. Okay, so you can see now you really start to organize things well. I'll throw my cam twist in here, and I'll throw my zoom in there as well. All right, so the other thing I may want to do is I may want to keep all these subcategory icons together. Simple enough, click, hold, pull that icon over. All right, so go back. Starting to look a little bit better. You can see I have all my Microsoft Office programs in one spot here. Maybe I'll bring this recorder, easy recorder over, and I can also put that there. And you can see things start to get organized on the screen. All right, so that is the Launchpad. That's the basics of how you would use it and organizing it. You can search, so you can go up to your search, and let's say I did video. It'll find anything with video. Let's say I do Microsoft. So I start typing, it will bring up all the apps that are Microsoft. Okay, let's say I'm gonna put BO, so anything with the word BO also comes up. All right. So that is the basics of the Launchpad. Very simple to use. Say keep things clean, move things around. If you don't want something, again, you push hold down, and then you can click on the X. That will delete the app. Right, so you can see I still have lots more organizing to do, but for now I can just leave things where they are. I just wanted to give you an idea of how you could organize stuff. Now let's go into our Finder. So the Finder is essentially the same as your My Computer Documents area. All right, so if we're going to compare it to a Windows machine, that is exactly what we're looking at. On the left hand side, very clearly stated, you've got, I use Dropbox, so I use some cloud drives, and those are on here. I've got my Google Drive, I've got my Dropbox, I've got my iCloud Drive. So all of these are shown on the left side of the screen. I've got Downloads area, I've got Documents area, okay, and you can see that, like I say, on the left hand side we have the drives and the applications and the documents folder, and on the right hand side it shows us all of the programs, everything that's installed, all our documents and everything. If I look at the top of this applications screen, you can have different layouts, so depending on how you like to see things. Some people like the big icons. For some people it's easier if they can see large icons. You can do list view. Okay, you can do this. So this view here, if I were to click on the Adobe folder, it gives me then the subcategories, the subfolders within there. All right, so again, we could do, sorry about that, we could do my cam twist, Epson software, it gives you your subfolders. Okay, then we can do, you get your detailed information on the bottom, so it just splits the screen for you. All right, and then we can sort, and then we'll get into this a little bit later. So let's just go back here to my list. I want to go back to my applications and go to my list. Now I just want to show you this side of it. So when I look at a folder on the left, I see an arrow. If you click on that arrow, again, that gives you subfolders within a folder. Okay, so anytime you see an arrow, that means there is something inside of that folder, so you can click on and then you can see what is inside the folder. So we may have let's say our utilities. So inside of our utilities folder, there's going to be lots of programs that you guys will sort of need at some point, and we will look at those in a little bit. Sorry, I have trying to set up meetings. Get rid of that. Okay, so that shows you, this is your applications, and this is sort of like your My Computer. So this is called the Finder. All right, so again, I'm in my Documents folder, and if I would like to create a new folder, the thing with a Mac is when you open a folder or a category or a program, an app, whatever you're opening, there's always a menu at the top. So completely different than Windows. In Windows, this menu would be right here along the top of this screen, right? So you'd have your documents and then you'd have File, Tools, View. But on a Mac, it's always at the top of the screen. So you take your mouse pointer right to the top and you're going to see this drop-down list. So these are now the functions I can do within the My Documents area or the Applications area. If I click on Applications, I go up. Now I'm working within, right? So you can see here the drop down comes down. So I'm within the Finder, I'm within the Documents, and I can go up to File and I can create a new folder. I can create a new Finder window. I can create a new Smart folder. I can look up things within, right now it's Documents because that's what I'm selected. So let's just do New Folder. Okay, and I'm going to say, it's a client of mine, create a folder for her. I want to move this, so again, push hold, and I am going to drop it into that folder. Okay, I'm going to create, I can right click within that area and I can create, so I'm right clicking within the Documents area. I can create a new folder. So instead of going up to the top and going File, New Folder, I've created a new folder and I can just type the name of the folder. Again, I can push click my left mouse button, and I can drag and drop into the folder. All right, just like in Windows, if you push and hold your Shift key, you can select multiple files and you can drag it across. All right, so that's put me back. If I want to go back one folder or forward one folder, top left of that screen is your back arrow and your forward arrow. Okay, now I'm within a folder. I can actually click on this settings icon, this little wheel, and you can do different things. So I actually want to clean things up a bit here. I want to arrange these icons because as you can see they're kind of on top of each other. Can't really see what's going on. So I can go arrange and I can do arrange by name, by size, by date. So I'll just do by name. It just clears things up for me so I can see exactly what's in the folder. All right, so you guys should play around with that a little bit. Just go into your Documents folder, maybe create a new folder. So you can do that in two ways. Again, right click, new folder, or you can go up to your menu, File, New Folder. Okay, so keep in mind that when you go and open an application, this drop down menu is always going to show up. I can also see at the top here, this is the name of my login on this system. So I have a couple of users on here and this is mine, so that tells me there. I've got the time and the date. I've got this obviously set up for Canadian. I've got volume here. I can eject my disks from this area here. Sorry about the coughing in the background. I can do my networking is here, and I've got Bluetooth. So this sub area, this toolbar at the top has got a lot of information in it, lots of places that you can change settings. I've got my Google Drive in here, so don't forget that that's there, because a lot of times if it is hidden automatically, you can keep this on the screen all the time. I just like to hide it because I think it's a little bit cleaner. But just remember, you put that mouse to the top and it gives you that drop down. All right, so let's go into Safari just to open it up. And these are just quick links of places that I have been to. But again, I have this now, it's called Safari, the menu, the drop down menu at the top. And I can now start playing with bookmarks, the history. I can go in here, I can do a new window, a new private window. And again, I just want to point out that as you open up applications, you can go to the top and you can use the search bar, and you can make changes at the very top. All right, so that's given us sort of an overview again of the actual menu at the top of your screen. So at any point when you are on your main desktop, mouse to the top. If you don't have it, if you have it hidden, so just take your mouse pointer to the top of your screen, and from there you'll get to the Finder, and you'll be able to click on and you will go through all these different options. You can also from here go directly to an area within the computer. So let's say we're wanting to do something, maybe the disk is being used a lot, or you're having some problems. You want to go to the utilities area. So that would be comparable to the control panel on a Windows machine. All right, so you can do that two different ways. You can go down to your Finder, or we can actually go up to our quick link to our Finder and go to Go, and then let's go into Utilities. So let's check out the Utilities, and I just want to go through this with you. I'm just going to make these icons just so it's a little bit easier for you to see it. So we have an activity monitor. I just want to show you what the activity monitor, this is the same as what a task manager would be. So let's click on activity monitor, and we can see CPU, we can see memory usage, we can see energy being consumed, we can see the disk activity, so what exactly is going on, what user is using it, and then you can also look at your network activity. Okay, so I'm going to look at the CPU to begin with. Sometimes if the computer may be a little bit slow, something's going on. As you know, in Windows you would go to the task manager, but in a Mac machine you're going to want to go to this activity monitor. So this might be a utility that you would use every once in a while if you were having performance issues on your machine. Okay, unless you're having performance issues, you probably wouldn't go in here. But if it seems to be running slow, maybe you're getting the spinning wheel of death, as they call it, that colored wheel that you see, this is the area that you would want to go in. I can sort by simply clicking on one of these titles at the top. So if I go CPU percentage, I can see exactly what is taking up most of my resources. So I can see that this cam mask, which is actually running at the bottom, if you notice a little dot underneath an application, that means that app is actually running, currently running in the system. It may be running because it's set up so when you turn your system on, you boot it up, it automatically starts. So I can do a couple of things here. If I want to shut this program, this cam mask down, I can put my mouse over it and right click it, and I can actually say quit. The other thing I can do is I can click on this cam twist or this cam mask. Now it's open. I can go up to the top. You'll see that my cam mask is running. I can click on cam mask and I can quit it that way as well. Right? So again, two options: right click, quit, or click and open. And as soon as that screen is open, and it's the main screen you're looking at, if I now click on activity monitor and go to the top, it's the activity monitor menu I'm going to get. So I'm going to go back in, cam mask, and I'm going to say quit. I will instantly see my CPU, the cam mask is now gone, and my CPU usage has also dropped. All right, so again, very basic on what you would want to do if for some reason your computer was getting bogged down. You can simply go into your activity monitor, sort by whichever, just click on the title and the heading. You can just click on, and do it by name, you can do it by process, CPU time, how long something's been running. All right, same thing, all these subcategories, energy, menu, you can see, or sorry, memory, you can see which using the memory the most. But I can see at this point I've got 16 gig. I'm only using 4.7, so I've got lots of memory, so I don't have to worry about that. I would just give you one quick tip that you may want to shut down and restart your computer. If you don't do it every day, I would do it at least once a week. What happens is the memory does get full from using all these applications, and once it's full, it needs to be cleaned out. The only way to clean it is by turning the computer off, turning it back on, and that will clear out this memory for you. All right. Okay, so we've looked at Activity Monitor. Something else you may want to look at is we can go to the airport utility. That's our Wi-Fi. Okay, so again, you can also get to this at the top. You can click on and you'll see our different connections here. So at any point I could click on any of these Wi-Fis and I could join them if indeed they were all mine and I knew the password. So you could just click on that icon at the top and you can select the Wi-Fi network of your choice. Okay, so this is showing us that we are on the internet. I'm not actually using an airport base station, so we would get more detail if I were using an airport. I don't feel that I need the airport hardware, so but you can just click on here and it will show you that I am actually connected to the internet. Let's go into audio setup. So here we go. Audio setup is a little bit more in depth on a Mac. Macs are fantastic for recording. I use GarageBand. You can create podcasts. It's all built in for you, and it's a great tool. You really can use it as a great tool if you want to get into things like podcasting. YouTube, maybe like I said, you want to use GarageBand, things like that. So this is where all of your devices are going to show up. Okay, I've got a Rocksmith package, so I can plug the USB part into the computer. So all these settings here are showing up. I've got podcast set up. So in my podcast setup, I actually have 2 microphones. So you can see I have the microphones listed here under USB. But the good thing is within this MIDI setup is you're able to create your own setups. So if you have 2 people talking, you set up 2 microphones, and when you go into your GarageBand or whatever app you are going to use within your settings, you would just use this podcast setup. So you can see it's pretty in depth. So if you're doing any video, any audio editing, and you want to create your own profiles, this would be the area that you would go into. If you're having any problems with any of your devices, you can go in here and simply change things. So I have the Snowball, which is what I am using currently, and I can change levels, I can balance things out. You can go into your formats. I'm obviously not going to change anything right now because I'm recording. Built-in inputs, so we've got all different settings here, and this is where you're going to go and you're going to make any changes. As soon as you plug a USB device in, this will automatically see it and it will be added to the list. Okay, so that's audio setup. So that's for your microphones, your speakers, anything like that. Bluetooth, if you have a Bluetooth device you would like to set up, we can go into the Bluetooth area. We can go into the color sync utility. So let's just jump into this. So we go profiles. I don't actually have any profiles set up here. So you've got devices. So we've got cameras. So all my devices that are set up are here. And you can actually go in and create different profiles for them. Right? So they're all set up. So that's if you really want to get into color settings and things like that. Like I said, a Mac is very good for video and audio editing. It gives you that extra sort of the step above what a Windows machine would do. And saying that it's an out-of-the-box solution. Windows absolutely does it. You just obviously have to buy the software to work with it. So a Mac is sort of more out of the box, ready to go. And we could go into the console. I'm not really going to get into that. It's more for programming type of thing. Let's go into the color meter. All right, so again, gives you the ability to pick colors. You can get your values here, your RGB values, if you want to duplicate that in maybe a photograph you're editing, maybe a slideshow you're creating. It allows you to actually pick and choose, and it will give you the exact color. Okay, so it's kind of nice. You know, sometimes you look and you think, oh, I wish I knew what type of color that was, and well, this is the program that's going to allow you to do it. Disk utility. We'll take a look at the disk utility. All right, so the disk utility is actually showing us what disks are connected to this system. Okay, if you have a USB device plugged in, it's going to show up there. If you have a micro SD card inserted, it's going to show up there. These are all the things that devices, external devices that are connected. And if you are having any problems with a drive, you would go into the disk utility and you would go into the first aid area. And there you'll be able to do exactly that, do some first aid on the disk drive. Okay, I'm not going to go into it. I just wanted to show you where it is. So this is all within the utilities area. So what things do I think you would need to know about utilities? Activity monitor. So if you're having any problems, maybe it's running slow, go to your activity monitor, and this audio MIDI setup. I think those are the two main ones that you would ever use. If we're going to system information, if you need to have your computer repaired, let's say, this is a good place to go, because the technician maybe on the phone would say to you, what model is your iMac? Well, this tells you everything. All right, so it gives you the model, it gives you the processor, it gives you all the information that you would need in order to, if the tech needs to purchase a part, something for the device, that's where it is. So if you ever get asked what version of a Mac you have, you can just go to system information, or you can go up to the top of your screen, you can go to the little apple, and then you can do about this Mac. All right, that's also going to give you the information too. So this one's a mid-2011, gives you the processor, the memory, and then you can go into displays. What display do I have connected to it? The storage I have connected to it, the memory. All right, so that's a good place to go as well. So that is your utilities area. So that's one of the things that you might need to do. You may need to go there. So I just thought I would show you that area of your computer. Right, so again, that's the very basics of a Mac system. I could go into a lot more depth, but I just sort of wanted to give you an overview of what all these areas are. So, you know what, to sum it up, I think you need to remember that if you go up to the top, you have a toolbar here, which is going to show you things that are currently running, what the time is. Here's your volume you can change. You can eject disks from here. Keep that in mind if you have a USB device connected. Don't just pull it out from the USB, hit the eject button. That closes off the device and makes sure you don't corrupt anything. If you need to go over to System Preferences, click on your icon at the top. You've got System Preferences here. If your computer is maybe one of the programs, one of the apps has locked up, you can go into Force Quit, and your Force Quit will actually bring up the applications that are running. You can click it and you can force quit that application. All right, so it's like doing the Control-Alt-Delete type of thing in a Windows machine. And again, you can come up here, you can shut the computer down, put it to sleep, restart it, or you can also log out. Okay, so I hope that that helps you. As I say, it was just a sort of an overview. I just wanted you guys to understand the look and the feel and the basics of how do you find that file, right? You've installed something, and where the heck did it go? So you can go into your Finder, you can go into your Finder at the top, right? You can go through to your sub menus. So this is something you should just play around with and get familiar, and that way I think it'll come a lot easier to you once you start playing around and getting the feel for it. Okay, so you've got your Finder, and then of course we have our Launchpad. So you got lots of icons here. Quickly click on them and away you go. So I hope that helps, guys. If you need anything else, let me know. I'm happy to put any videos together you would like to see. I can do more detailed videos on subsections of the system if you would like. We can do one on system preferences, but hopefully this will get you started. Thanks for joining us. I will have another video up soon, and if you need to get a hold of me on Twitter at SavvyTechGirl, you need to drop me an email, savvytechgirl@gmail.com, and you can get me on Facebook, facebook.com/SavvyTechGirl, and also get me on the internet, savvytechgirl.com. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I look forward to hearing from you, and we'll get some more videos together. Bye for now.